Kia ora, it's Ruth here and welcome to my garden in Christchurch. Now, if you have been following my channel for a while, I'm back. I'm planning to start this up again and do a couple of videos a month, maybe more, we'll see. But yes, I'm back. I'm planning to do things. So if you've got any ideas, anything you want to see, please let me know. If you're new here, kia ora, I'm Ruth. This is my backyard in Christchurch in Seedling. I am a full-time mum, I'm a part-time primary school teacher, and I garden just for the fun of it. And what I love doing is showing what I've got growing in my garden, giving you ideas of what you might grow, and I also really love hearing about what you're growing in your garden. My garden is in quite a shady area, so there's some things that take longer than it would in other areas of Christchurch, but then I've got other things that grow faster. And as it is with gardening, I love trial and error. I'm really keen on experimenting and just seeing how things go. So what I'm going to do in this video, and then I'll probably do it over a couple of videos, is just show you what's happening in my garden for the start of April and then what my plan is for this month. So let's get straight into it. I'll show you down this side first. As you can see, the corn is coming to the end of its life, and that is going to be the theme of this whole April tour, is everything's coming to the end of its life. It's me choosing what I need to pull out. By pull out, what I try and do most of the time is just cut them at the roots, because that means the roots stay in the ground. There's still matter in there for the organisms in the ground to eat, and also it means that I'm not ripping everything out, losing soil. So I'll be cutting these off at the base really soon. But what I've loved about this corn is each has had about 2 ears per plant. Every year I'm kind of like, do I bother growing corn again? It takes so long, it takes a lot of space, they take a lot of nutrients from the ground, but our little one loves corn so much, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. And it's been so wonderful at dinner time thinking we just need something extra, being able to come grab an ear of corn. Are so fresh, so easy to do. So corn will definitely be on the menu again next year. I will be really trying to do better with succession planting, so planting some every couple of weeks, so we've got more of a spread of them throughout the season, but corn will definitely be on. We've got a few dahlias in here, and we've also got spiders and some artichokes. A friend gave me these. These are slow growing, they're in a bit of shade, but hopefully next year we'll get some. And I've got a few pumpkins. This one there, if anyone can tell me what has happened to this one. Is it that it's just got no water? It was, oh there you go, it's come off here, but anyway. It was growing well, and then it just all shriveled up. For me, pumpkin seems to be my arch nemesis. I've grown like 1 or 2 a year, but I never really seem to get a good pumpkin crop. So if you've got any ideas what happened to this one, please let me know. So if I go back here, here's the rest of the pumpkin plant. It needs to come out. Now if you look at this, this is 2 different types. I can't remember this type, which this one was, but this is a Sweet 100 cherry tomato. And you can see it's a bit of a mess. That is the story of my tomato plants this year. Just having not spent as much time in the garden over summer, I just didn't really worry about taking off the laterals, and the laterals are the little bits in the tomato plants that go up between the stalk and the leaves. You pick out that bit. The idea is that you get a stronger plant that puts more energy into the fruiting. I thought, I've always taken the laterals out, I can't be bothered, I've kind of missed the time while I've been away on holiday, let's just see how it goes. From my experience, not going to do that again. It became just this big jumbled mess. We did get a lot of tomatoes, but a lot of them we couldn't get to, and a lot of them stayed green forever, so we didn't get a massive amount of red tomatoes. And I put that down to not getting as much sun and just pumping tomatoes out. So these are the last ones I need to pull out. You see we've still got some green, we've got some red little ones I need to get some very healthy grass growing. And here I've also got another batch of strawberry spinach. So strawberry spinach, as you can see, is the little berries. It's a type of spinach more than a strawberry. The berries are not tasting like strawberries. They are mildly sweet, kind of savoury-ish, but again, my little one really loved them. So I decided I'd grow another plant. I'm quite surprised they did keep growing. And my plan is to freeze them. They freeze really well, and they're really fun to add into like little pancakes or add into little dinners for a little bit of, I would say, veggie, fruit, I don't know. A little bit of something for a bit of colour, but also some goodness. So I've grown these again. They're a bit of a meh, like if I didn't have a little one I wouldn't grow them again, but for the fact that he enjoys them, kind of like blueberries, they're easy to pop in his mouth, I will grow them again. We have some asters that have been really battered about, but I've decided I really love asters, so I'm going to grow some more of them. And I love how if I cut one stem you get a whole bouquet, which is pretty cool. Here is some asparagus which has been ferning. We only had this one and this one survive. I think it's because we planted too much in this garden, but we'll see how it goes. It was only the first year, so we didn't pick them. And we've got the end of our basil. Some of them are starting to seed, which I'm going to collect the seeds for next year, but there's still some basil to harvest. If I take you around here, this garden I've started sorting out. This was overgrown with tomatoes too. And you can see my little UFOs kind of up again. Some of them are blown off. This is what I put around my seedlings, which protects them from birds and also gives them a little bit more warmth as we're in this changing season. And what I've done is, usually I would really like to grow everything from seeds. In this case, I'll show you the glass house soon. Either I haven't got around to growing things from seeds, or I forgot to water it for a week and all the seeds I did plant died. And so when I was at the warehouse, I saw a whole lot of reduced declares. And so all of these plants here, I worked out, spent about 16 cents per seedling, which is pretty good. But one thing to note is when you look at these things, sometimes they look like a good price, but there's only maybe 6 in the punnet, where some other shops might have heaps more. So if you are buying seedlings, have a look how many is per punnet to decide on whether it's a good value or not. But no matter what, when you're buying something for example, the cabbage is $1.47. I think there's 7 in there. You couldn't buy 7 cabbages for $1.47. You couldn't buy 1 cabbage for $1.47. So even if 1 comes out of that, it's still a good deal. So I've got some Brussels sprouts, cabbage, beetroot, curly kale, some silver beet, and some lettuce to plant. Now with the Brussels sprouts here in Christchurch, it's actually too late to plant them. I learnt that when I was first growing Brussels sprouts, that actually you kind of want them this size about January. But what I'm going to try and do with these is, they were reduced to clear, so they suckered me in. But I'm going to have a go at growing them in my glass house to see if I can get them to a good size before winter so we'll have Brussels sprouts. So you'll have to check back as the months go on to see if it works. But what I also did with this garden after taking out the tomatoes is I dug out a whole lot of my compost and put a whole lot of compost on there and put some sheep pellets on there too, and then recovered it with some more pea straw. I love pea straw. Pea straw is brilliant for holding in the water and also making sure it holds in the warmth so that we get the season and the warmth a little bit longer in the soil. Downfall is slugs. Do love it. So before I put all these beetroot seedlings in, I did a slug patrol and the chickens really enjoyed the slugs. Now on that note, I put a photo of that on my Instagram. So if you are following me and you're on Instagram, you can have a look at rugru_NZ. And I've been posting on there way more frequently because it takes a lot less time to put a little video on, to put a little photo on than a video. So as you'll see behind me are the beans. The beans are coming to the end of their season too. So I've been trying to leave a few to go to seed. So I've got some seeds for next year. As always, I leave way too many to go to seed and I probably should have picked some more, but they're all looking a bit sad. So these are going to be coming out soon. And I've got a few lone broccoli which are coming up nicely. That one, we'll see if it heads up. So I've kind of got things scattered everywhere. Now our blueberries have been wonderful this year. We've still got blueberries coming on. So these are wonderful and my little one loves them. If you've got little ones, I always thought it was just an interesting thing, thinking little kids loved blueberries. I found it so true. Out of all the little ones I know, I now don't know a little one that doesn't love blueberries. So if you're going to be planting any berries, things like blueberries and raspberries, highly recommend because they're so expensive in the shops. They take a little while to establish, but not too long. These ones are 4 years old, I think now. The first year we stripped all the fruit. The second year I stripped about 50% of the fruit. Then yeah, the last 2 years I've let them fruit like normal. And the reason I stripped the fruit is so that it put more effort into the roots. There is mixed theories on whether that works or not. For us, these have been going really well and we didn't really need the fruit as much the first couple of years. So definitely if you're going to plant something, plant blueberries. They're wonderful. Now here is our apple tree. Apple tree hasn't done very well, I've just noticed. There's a couple of beautiful big ones. But literally we probably had about 20 from the tree where last year it was laden and we were giving away bucketfuls. Sometimes it's just what it is. Sometimes seasons there's more, sometimes seasons there's less. This garden here with these beans, what I've just been doing is I've put some aged horse manure under the pea straw as well as a bit of compost. I was really wanting to build this garden up because I'm planning to plant garlic in here this year. I've been planting garlics in different places. Last year our garlic harvest wasn't that great, but I didn't put too much in the soil to begin with. So having this fed with some compost, with some aged horse manure to begin with, then I'll make sure I'll do another dressing throughout the season. I'm hoping for a really good garlic crop this year. Here is my zucchini, again, which needs to come out. I've been growing it up a pole, which I've really enjoyed. What you do is you chop off the leaves which are under the fruit, and then it also means you're chopping off ones that have any powdery mildew, because all the ones that come out, this is just the pattern on it, it's nice and fresh and clean. We've still got a couple of little zucchinis that are thinking of coming, but I doubt that they will actually come to fruit. And here is one of our feijoas and the other feijoa. This one's a later fruiting one, so it's a bit smaller. So that is the first little section of the garden. At first when I started doing the video I thought there's not much going on. I start talking, there is actually a lot going on still, but there is, being April, a lot of tidying up to do. So once I've planted all those seedlings and I've done the tidying up, then I'll get a couple more seedlings, but they'll probably be resting for the rest of winter, because while things do grow, they grow slowly. They're actually okay with frosts, but you have to check back to see what's happening. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop for here and then I'll show you the next garden in the next video. So ka kite!